evening all. Just try not to get a bodge in this. This is I've just ordered on the old, actually Amazon, which is unlike me. I'm not a great Amazon user, but I thought, well, I can get it in the day I want it, and arrived on time. In its own bag, and it's this universal fitting thermal blind, because I did notice when I was away in January for a few weeks, it got blooming cold, and not cold enough for me to not camp. So I bought these go on the inside of the screen, and they have their own little suckers through the little holes, so I shall enjoy putting this together, and hopefully once the van is done, which hopefully will be the next day or two, I can get out again and use these on the inside, which will hopefully just cut that little bit of heat loss down. So there you go. So just thought I'd show you that little detail. Hope everyone's well. Thanks very much. Right, you just, I'm standing in the shadow. You have a little box of little suckers. I always like a box of suckers. And you basically poke them through the holes that are already in the blinds. As you can see here, I've done this side. They are plenty big enough, and they are multi-fitting, i.e., you know, there's plenty of, these are plenty big enough for my little Talbot, but you can always wrap the excess around and then put the big screen up, and then it just all adds to the effect. I think once you put up and you know, it's worth the effort, because as you say, a lot of heat goes through the window, a lot of heat. So I'll pick the internal ones, at least then they don't get so damp or so wet. If the ones on the outside and it's either raining or snowing, because evidently you're going to use these in the cooler conditions, then to me, I'm happy enough with that. So that's what they are. Malenko Universal thermal blinds, and we'll see how these go anyway the next week or so. Cheers. Morning all, and we're bright and breezy this morning. I think it's just before 8 o'clock. I've just travelled from Forfar down to Inchmarkle Garage. It's a Shell garage, but their workshop is at the back. It looks like I'm well before some of the people who actually work here. But we've got a bit of snow showers this morning, as you can see over there. So it was scraped the ice off the screen this morning as well. So we'll just have to see how things go today. Hopefully I can get on and get on with this work on my van, and we can get back home and have something to eat and snuggle up, but it's going to be quite a few hours yet. Anyway, cheers all. Oh, I fitted the bonnet. It's fine. It doesn't sit well here, and especially this side, but that's the only problem. You get your fingers underneath there, and there's quite a large gap, but I reckon it was is it the flitch base? This it's been put on and repaired, so I reckon I might be able to jig it about a little bit and see how it goes. But generally speaking, that's the bonnet in, and time for the clean when it gets a bit drier. Cheers. Right, good afternoon all. Got my glasses on, but I might need them and I might not. Right, so basically just a quick update. Early start this morning. I'm going to just sort that out. I took the Betty B, the van, the Betty B, and just took it to Inchmarkle Garage in Perth. Towards Perth anyway, and had the work done, had the build, had the total. I have now a total of what I've spent so far on the van, which is, well, it's a lot of money, but I thought the bill was quite fair from the garage, and I've got no complaints about that. It was the other bits and pieces which I could have held on for the diesel tank another year perhaps, and waited, but I think if it's damaged and it's going to leak, then get it done, because 6 months down the road, stuck somewhere, the last thing you want is a diesel tank going. Anyway, they fitted that, they kept me informed, I gave them a small tip, which I do anyway. That's neither here or there, don't know why I said that. But I was there about 8 o'clock, and it's 12:30 now, and I've done some shopping. Right, the totals. Well, basically, the total was, the bonnet was just under 250, it was about 225 quid. The diesel tank and the sender unit, excuse me looking away, was 270 quid. The bonnet to get resprayed was £200. I have noticed a little chip on the edge when they fitted the bonnet, so I've got to put a dab of paint or something on that. And with the footage you've seen, I've checked underneath the bonnet, and where they've done the, I think it's the inner, is it the inner flitch or the inner, the plate that goes underneath it, it's a common fault on them. Well, I think they've packed that up. Well, I think I can pretty much tap it down with a stick of wood and get the bonnet to, you know, pop back down a bit. But that's the weather at the moment. It's not very good. The MOT and the garage repairs were £282. That was for the labour for fitting the diesel tank, the MOT, the track rod ends, the oil filter change, and the oils and the filters, etc., which I didn't think was too bad. I bought two makeshift front panels. They were 47 quid. I haven't had them fitted, but I have bought them ready to try and get them done over the next few months, which is the bottom little grill looking, it's called a front panel, and it comes in one complete thing, and I can't get it. I bought a disc lock, which you've seen, and that fits over the steering wheel and allows you not to be able to use the steering wheel. And I bought some Malenko thermal sort of blankets for the front screen, which was a little bit extra I wanted, which was they were just, I think, delivered under, they were just about £70. I thought, well, at the end of the day, you know, it's worth it. I was having to do the curtains because the curtains themselves, you can sort of see a little bit through them. So with the so-called thermal blankets up, because I mean you can use them in the sun as well, so if it's a sunny day you can just drop this thermal blanket in the front and reflect the heat, if we ever get heat. So the grand total was £1,244 approximately, give or take. Not a great deal of a problem, because I always think that, okay, that works out to about £24 a week over the next year. So if I get a good bit of use out of it, then I'll be quite happy. It's an old vehicle. I expect certain things that are going to go on it, so you have to do and repair for that. If you buy an old vehicle, as long as I'm happy with the state of it underneath, which they seem to be happy with and I'm happy with, I should be good now for a good couple of years, as long as my health is okay. You know, I'm not preempting anything. So hopefully keep on top of the other bits of bodywork which I want to try and do, then it should be okay. I'm looking for the gasket kit or the gas flow kit, the red tanks or the yellow tanks. I have found there is a place in Perth where I can get the materials from, or I can get them online and get them shipped in, but I'll probably sort those out next week. And that kit alone is just under, it's under £400 for 2 gas bottles, the equipment, auto change valve, etc. I'm not rambling on, but that's about it. But that money, you know, is probably an expense that I could do without at the moment. But if I do it over the next week or so, then as far as I'm concerned, I should be good to go then. I'm going to save money on the gas, because as I say, £75 over the 3 weeks I was away. That was quite ridiculous, £25 a week to heat the van, when if I'd have used the gas kits or the gas flow kits, it would have been probably no more than £25. So I'd have saved £50. So okay, it won't pay for itself after about 2 years, but you know, the thought of going to a station and filling up the 2 tanks for less than a tenner still sounds good to me, compared to 2 tanks would be £50. if you just change by colour. Anyway, that's enough of my ramblings. I'll put this together, hope everyone's good. There's no snow settled, it was just a flurry and a storm a bit this morning, a bit breezy. So all in all now, just get everything sorted and get back together. Cheers, thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe. I don't normally say that, subscribe, but please comment if you've got any comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Cheers.